This feels different from any fish. This is an octopus. They are masters of camouflage. They are shapeshifters. They can blend in with the background. They are amazingly intelligent. They're just incredible animals. It's a cephalopod, so it's made up of a head and a foot, and confusingly, the foot, the bottom bit, has 8 arms, and each one has powerful suction cups. They have no skeleton, external or internal, but they do have a very powerful beak in the middle of all those arms. When they catch their prey, they deliver it to the beak, and that will rip and tear the prey apart.
I recently saw some amateur footage from Australia, perfectly illustrating what amazing and surprising hunters octopus are. Not bound by the limitations of fish, it leaps from the water and pursues its prey over land. It's a predator playing by a different rulebook. This is a juvenile Caribbean reef octopus. Adults can have a span of over 4 feet, tentacle tip to tentacle tip. That's unlikely to harm a human, if we're to believe an octopus is somehow responsible for stories of swimmers and divers gone missing. However, in 2011, the remains of an octopus washed up on these shores, which, if complete, could have spanned more than 20 feet. Is this proof that giant octopus do exist here?
If the Lusca is a big one of these, that's actually quite a terrifying prospect. If this beast was scaled up to the size of the creature that's been described to me, could those tentacles pluck somebody from the surface? Well, absolutely they could. Could the beak tear you apart into pieces? Again, absolutely. Would anything be found? Absolutely not.
Without a bone in its body, a 50-pound octopus can squeeze through a 2-inch hole, so it would have no problem negotiating the narrowest of tunnels under the island.
This footage was shot at an aquarium in Seattle in the Pacific Northwest. Something was killing off their shark, so they staked out the tank with a camera to record any evidence. As a zoologist, my natural reaction to this, other than amazement, is to ask, if an octopus can catch and consume a shark, could a large one take down and devour a person?
So something lives here. By the look of this, there's scattered shells. What we've got here looks like it is an octopus den. And the thing is not to be deceived by the size of the opening. Well, this is a giant Pacific octopus.
The largest known species of octopus, and certainly the biggest octopus I've ever encountered. It's not showing any signs of aggression, but it is in no way intimidated by our presence or our lights.
It squeezes through these tiny little gaps.
A creature like this would have no difficulty overcoming the rocky passageways beneath Andros.
You seem to disappear and then reappear again. Very impressive animal.
Incredibly, the octopus that seized Ron would have dwarfed this, spanning between 15 and 20 feet.
What an encounter. They grow bigger than this, but this is an impressive animal.
And when it goes from walking to swimming, this shapeshifter does indeed look somewhat shark-like. Is this how the hybrid legend originated?
Looking right into its eyes.
Intelligent, aggressive, opportunistic and incredibly maneuverable, this secretive giant is a supreme aquatic predator.
Really makes you think, thinking back to the blue hole. What could be lurking in those crevices down there?
If the blue holes of Andros were indeed to harbour a giant octopus, it's easy to understand how it might have remained hidden, and how, in the labyrinths of the human imagination, this extraordinary creature could have inspired the legend of the Lusca.
Another thing that's sometimes known as the devilfish is the kraken. This is a mythical giant squid that lives deep down in the ocean. And they say it comes up and it drags down ships.
These highly intelligent beasts, armed with barbed tentacles, are creatures of mythology. But I wonder if there's a real creature that might have inspired this myth. He tells me about one of his early devil hunting trips as a young man. It's 11 o'clock at night. He's got his children with him in a boat. He loses his fishing lure, but close to where he's anchored, there's another boat with a spare lure.
Rather than actually paddle to the other boat, he just jumped in the water.
He knew there were red devils down there, but he didn't think they would hurt him. He was wrong. They attacked him from every direction. He felt the flesh tearing from his stomach and neck as they started to drag him down. His children managed to pull him back into the boat, covered in blood.
He said if he hadn't been able to get out of the water, that would have been it. He'd have been finished. There was many, no way of giving a number. But he says this is something that when you hook one and you're bringing it into the boat, they become cannibalistic. If one is struggling on a line, others will come in and devour that. He says it's almost like a piranha feeding frenzy. Now, the thing about piranhas, from my experience, is if a piranha bites you, they leave a very clear signature. So I'm just curious, if he's got any mementos of that particular incident. ¿Hay algún cicatriz, algún marca?
O sea, muchas.
Muchas, okay.
The attack happened more than 40 years ago, but he still has scars.
Aquí está ya.
I'm slightly concerned about the side of the boat here. I mean, no doubt it's all in the name of efficiency, so you can pull squid over easily, but that's actually lower than my knee, so I'm thinking if the boat's tipping a bit, if the surface is slippery, I can imagine it'd be very easy to go over the side. When Rafael, the fisherman I met in Mexico, got in the water with squid, it was only seconds before they attacked. And the fisherman here warned me that when men fall overboard, the squid converge and drag them down.
And generally they're not seen again.
Here we go. Okay. It's a grueling task, hauling this beast up from the depths by hand. This is quite tiring. It's trying to keep your balance at the same time. Whoa! Thought it had gone. The boat gives a sudden lurch, and suddenly the line goes a bit slack. I think I can see it. There it is. This feels big. Okay. The writhing predator fires ink as a defense mechanism. Come aboard. And here we go.
It's just flashing different colours here.
Out of the water, this squid's colour flashes from a devil-like red to inky black.
So this is the beast. This is a Humboldt squid. And just what a weird animal it is. You have the mouth in the middle there, surrounded by tentacles, and inside there you can see the beak.
I have no doubt this is what caused the scar on Raphael's shoulder, and is the brutal weapon behind the other unusual wounds I heard about. It's the key piece of evidence that ties all my stories together. And they have more weird anatomy.
This is the siphon. This is what it squirts ink out of.
These bizarre-looking predators are like something out of a horror movie, an alien animal totally unlike any fish I have ever caught.
Quite an impressive beast. Going back.
This squid is a decent size, but I'm told they grow twice as long, perhaps 8 times the weight. And there's something even more terrifying about these animals. Within seconds, another line goes. and they keep coming.
Here we go, coming over. Hey! Luckily that wasn't ink. Oh, there's lots down here.
These cannibalistic devils rise from the depths to attack other squid struggling on the fishing jigs. I'm told they hunt in packs of more than 1,000. Then, as suddenly as they first appeared, they're gone. What makes them so dangerous to man are their tentacles. An adult box jellyfish can grow up to 40 of them, and each one contains around 5,000 stinging cells. That makes 200,000 deadly points of contact. They can sense when they touch something living, and that triggers thousands of tiny darts. The toxin then enters the blood. It takes only 6 to 7 feet of a single tentacle to kill an adult human. My wetsuit should act as a barrier. This water might look quite inviting, but Jamie tells me that just this little bit of beach here, there could be hundreds of box jellyfish, and getting in without due precaution and due vigilance would actually be, verging on insanity even.
So what you're looking for is, it's a little hard to explain it, but a transparent jellyfish with a set of tentacles.
Right.
There's one right there.
So it's just a sort of a fuzzy white, but that purple is quite...
The purple's a dead set giveaway, but
yeah.
not all the animals have purple tentacles.
Yeah.
Another one out here.
Yep.
Another one there.
I'm just thinking, you could come down here, hot day, let's just splash through the water, cool off, and you could die, couldn't you? Just need to eat water.
Look, it's in these sorts of conditions, it's not a matter if you could die, it's you will die. I mean, if you're swimming in here and you didn't know what was going on, yeah, you'd die. It's as simple as that.
We're on the lookout for bigger specimens. Jamie needs fully grown adults to harvest their venom.
The main reason we're here is to collect venom. What happens is you grab the animal, you pick it up, you cut the tentacles off, so we'll cut about half of the tentacles off, and then we can take the tentacles back to the lab and extract the venom. Now what you need to remember is these guys will grow the tentacles back somewhere between half to an inch in length a day. So cutting off half the tentacles is not really a major issue for these animals. They grow them back very, very quickly.
Jamie has learned that it is possible to gently grasp the jellyfish by its body without being stung. He tells me that to do this you need the sensitivity and feel that can only be achieved by using bare hands. Oh, what's that right in the...
Yeah, that's a beauty, actually. That's a cracker. Righto. And you see, so we're literally in sort of knee-deep water here, and it's almost impossible to see.
Yes.
Now. You want to be in front of the animal?
Yes.
It's going to take 2 hands.
Yes.
And it'll be a lot heavier than you think.
Right, okay. It's now or never. Time to commit.
Oh.
Wait a minute. That touched something. Yeah, there's tentacle all over the bell there.
Yep.
All over the bell. After only the briefest of touches, it feels like my skin is on fire. And that was with less than 1/10 of an inch of contact. Yes, it's starting to burn. It's starting to burn. It's dialing up a little bit. Yeah.
Imagine 6 or 7 feet worth of that. I mean, you probably got 1/4 of an inch maybe.
Yes. So. This is now personal. That one looked, as we got over it, it looked a bit bigger actually. Okay, it's more or less in a good position, isn't it?
This is a good one, yep.
Done it. I've finally overcome my fear. Now I can get a good look at this deadliest of all killers. It's strange, it doesn't look alive, but it feels alive, but in a very weird way.
That size animal's probably got 7 to 8 tentacles on each corner of the bell. You only need 6 or 7 feet long in an adult to kill somebody. That animal has potential to kill 50 people in under 2 minutes.
We collect several more large specimens and harvest their venomous tentacles for making antivenom back at the lab.
I still can't compute the deadliness of the venom of this thing. I mean, this is quite a big animal, and this would kill several people, and in a very, very short time. Having now felt what one of these things is like, okay, that was the very mild end of the spectrum, but that burnt. But making the sort of the conceptual jump between that and somebody dead, how does the venom actually work?
Well, you've got to remember first up that the venom is a component of several different things. So what you got was the localised pain, which was destruction of cells. So nerve pain there at that point. What will also have happened is another component will have been deposited directly into your circulatory system, in other words, your veins and arteries, and that would have gone straight to your heart. A big box jellyfish, you're stung, it hurts immediately. It's like a red hot knife dragged across your skin. So 0 being no pain, 10 the worst you can imagine. My last trip, I had it about 14. And if someone had handed me a loaded gun, I was off the planet. It's this pain, it comes in and you get it under control and then it goes up a level. And you get that under control and it goes up another level.
I waste no time and head straight to her clinic. Could she have the answers I need to explain the telltale marks scorched into the victim's skin?
Vou descrever para mim o jeito das marcas.
Mas também eu pude ver, veja só.
Dr. Dacey reviews her old case notes.
Pescador indígena.
The body of an indigenous fisherman was brought to her clinic.
De 3 faixas,
On his chest and back were 3 stripes.
como se fosse fio elétrico.
She said it's almost as if a thick electric cable had been wound round the body.
For an eel to wrap around a person 3 times, it would have to be significantly longer than any electric eel I've seen. Soon after birth, the eels develop electric organs running the length of the body, leaving little room for muscle. They can't wrap or coil around things like a snake can. Could the marks, in fact, be bruising?
Ter batido? No.
Podia passar até o dedo em cima, via a pele torrada.
She says absolutely no doubt about it. This was a burn, it wasn't a bruise. On close inspection, it was almost as if it had been fried or toasted.
I don't doubt that the wounds were burns, but everything I've learnt about the eel's deadly weapon suggests brief, intense shocks, rather than the sustained power to fry flesh.
Como a gente vê nesse
Dr. Dacey then shows me something I've never seen before. Footage of an electric eel shocking and killing a caiman.
I think what's going on here is this guy is actually, he's caught the electric eel on a line, there's the bait. Caiman looking very interested here, almost sort of hypnotised by it. Hey.
pegou.
And right, the caiman's grabbed it by the neck, instant effect, thrashing around, just like somebody grabbing an electric cable.
Total paralisado pela descarga elétrica.
This creature is completely overpowered.
It's a terrifying sight. And if this eel's deadly shocks are capable of penetrating the thick reptilian armour of a caiman for such a long time, is it possible that I've drastically underestimated what the electric eel is capable of?
É uma coisa incrível, né?
Por algumas histórias, por exemplo, os indígenas tupi,
Dr. Dacey says if I really want to understand the electric eel, there's an indigenous tribe called the Matisse that I should visit. Instead of avoiding these creatures, they catch them to eat. We reach a pool where the hunters employ their first eel-catching technique.
They think that it's a wounded animal or something, apparently, this splashing sound. It's something that just gets their curiosity.
They begin to take up their positions.
When the water is just confined to small puddles, that's when they tend to just grab them with their hands.
The hunt moves into its next phase.
A pregnant woman doing the splashing in the water. This is more reliable in terms of calling the electric eels.
It seems improbable. But suddenly, all hell breaks loose. It's chaos as the hunters try to bring the fish into shallow water.
Right, I'm now in water.
I struggle to get close. The eel writhes to get free.
It's here.
Finally, Bushy, the man who brought me here,
I can see it, you can see it trembling,
holds a live electric eel in his bare hands.
He's just holding that, he's holding it.
I've seen what these fish are capable of.
I'm not too comfortable being this close. He says it is shocking. This is the fish that is responsible for killing people. And according to others, actually burning their skin. But looking at Bushy now, no sign of any burns. He's been holding this now for several minutes.
I'm left with two possible conclusions. Either the Matisse have special powers,
Because they have this understanding that I don't completely follow, scientists don't completely follow.
or something else is responsible for the bizarre deaths.
The gaff is necessary to hold the head up, but it barely punctures the tough skin.